What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Knoxx We Trust. Thank you for being here. How much do you guys know about the World Economic Forum? How much do you know about Klaus Schwab? Or exactly the functions of what this entity does? Well, thankfully, Patrick Bet-David of Valuetainment has created an excellent video that provides a plethora of information, and we're going to go over that today. I will be linking his video in the description below so you can go check it out unaltered and unedited, because I had to do what I had to do. So let's get straight into it. Here we go.
Thank you, Angelic and Amen, for this musical opening of the meeting.
Don't mess with me, I'm one crazy mofo. I had to pop a cop because he wasn't giving me my props in Oaktown.
Your Royal Highnesses, Excellencies, distinguished heads of state and government, Excellencies.
Where do I begin? My father was a relentlessly self-improving boulangerie owner from Belgium with low-grade narcolepsy and a penchant for buggery.
Dear partners and friends of the World Economic Forum, a very cordial welcome to the 2023 annual meeting.
I'm sorry, guys. It couldn't be helped. I had to do it. I mean, the bastard looks exactly like him, doesn't he? I mean, for the love of Christ, you couldn't make this shit up if it was movies. I guess it is the movies. All right. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Here's Patrick Bet-David. Let's go over this video. Very informative stuff. Very well done. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Why do so few people trust Klaus Schwab and World Economic Forum? Like, why is it that they're in every single conversation of people? These guys want to control you. They want to make decisions for you. They want you to eat insects. There's no way they said you got to eat insects. They would never say such a thing. They would never say you shouldn't eat meat or, U.S. will no longer be a superpower. Why would they say such a thing? U.S. pays into World Economic Forum. So we decided to investigate it. We realized this man, Klaus Schwab, is actually a modern-day Nostradamus. He knows how to predict crisis from happening. He's got that kind of gift. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about how much money they've raised, their expenses on an annual basis. You'll see who was invited to be a young global leader. 3 names. Wait till you see what Tulsi, Musk, and Vivek said to World Economic Forum. We'll cover that as well, and a bunch of other things. Having said that, stay tuned. We're going to study World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab in this episode. Let's get right into it. So Klaus Schwab founded World Economic Forum in 1971 as a not-for-profit foundation. It is headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. It was originally called the European Management Forum, and initially his focus was in the meetings on how European firms could catch up with the U.S. management practices. This is their mission statement: engage business, political, academic, and other leaders of society to shape global, regional, and industry agendas. Mission is committed to improve the state of the world. So far, sounds pretty good. They made a prediction on what they think is going to happen in 2030, 8 of them, which I think it's important for you to know. Here's some of the predictions. Number 1, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. By the way, this is from their website. This is a video they produced. Number 2, the U.S. won't be the world's leading superpower. Instead, a handful of countries will dominate.
So you heard those very first 2 predictions. We'll own nothing and be happy, and the United States will relinquish its power so that a handful of countries can dominate. Are the U.S. going to be part of that handful? What does that even mean? And why would the U.S. even join this if this is one of their predictions? Anyway, let's continue.
Number 3, you won't die waiting for an organ donor. Instead, we won't transplant organs. We'll print new ones.
So they're already predicting printing vital organs, printing them. But if we even dare to discuss the existence of weather modification apparatuses or directed energy weapons, we are conspiracy theorists or madmen and women? I don't know. Let's go look at the madman, right? Dr. Evil himself.
Very interesting. Number 4, you'll eat much less meat. If you like meat, you're kind of screwed here. Number 5, 1 billion people will be displaced by climate change. We'll have to do a better job at welcoming and integrating refugees. Number 6,
we're already doing a fantastic job at integrating illegal invaders. I mean, refugees or asylum seekers or whatever you want to call them. And guess what? We haven't even had the climate disaster occurring yet, that is going to displace this billions of people as he's predicting. Let's continue.
polluters will have to pay to emit carbon dioxide. There will be a global price on carbon. This will help make fossil fuels history. Number 7, you could be preparing to go to Mars. Oh my God, can you imagine how they're trying to sell to people around the world? Scientists will have worked out how to keep you healthy in space.
Doctors and scientists can't even work out how to keep you healthy on Earth. They're gonna do it in space? A frickin' Mars? We probably go to Mars. And then India just land a rover on the moon? Something like that? I don't know. Something like that. Let's go. Let's keep watching.
Science will work out how to keep you healthy in space. The start of a journey to find alien life. Number 8, Western values will have been tested to the breaking point. Check.
Where's that journey to find alien life gonna take us? To Area 51? Where they keep them all stashed away? Oh, you gotta love it.
Checks and balances that underpin our democracies must not be forgotten. How do you feel right now? Are you like watching this saying, there's no way this is true? Let me go Google this myself. Go ahead and do it. Pause the video, check it for yourself, and then come back and you'll see this is what they're telling you. If they're selling you a dream, man, this is awesome. I can't wait to live this life. Well, then follow whatever they're telling you. But if this is a nightmare type of a situation coming from their mouth to you, you may want to investigate these guys before we see them as experts and honorable leaders that we subscribe to whatever they tell us to do.
Now you saw one of the points there. Two of those main predictions were dismantling the United States. It's basically the predictions they're making, 2 of them. What was number 8? I believe it was Western values are going to be tested to the breaking point. Why our values? Right? Anyway, just thought I would put that out there.
Now, here's their objectives. I want to read to you from their website. Stay tuned. Let me just read it to you. It's not going to sound real, but let me read it to you. Globalism, net zero, reimagining capitalism. This is being said by people who have never ran a business before. Klaus Schwab is not a businessman. He pays himself $1 million a year, but he's not a businessman. He's hurting small businesses like you and I who run businesses. He's not a fan of you. He wants to control you because he thinks he knows what's best for you.
Shit. Oh, hell, let's just do what we always do. Hijack some nuclear weapons and hold the world hostage.
Slowing population growth. They're not saying depopulation. It's more like saying slowing population growth.
And just exactly how do they intend to slow population growth? I mean, of course, besides abortions and now wanting to euthanize autistic children or adults or elderly people. I mean, besides those ways, how else? Maybe we need to go ask Dr. Klaus over there. Let's continue.
A bit more gentle. And Yuval Harari, who is their number 2 guy at World Economic Forum, said the following about you. Humans are now hackable animals. Are you a hackable animal? That's what the number 2 guy at World Economic Forum thinks about you and me.
What happened? They didn't feel like saying useless eaters, so he just went with animals? Hackable animals, mind you, because that's what we are. We're toys to be played with. You know nothing and be happy.
How do you feel about that? Isn't this exciting? Like we're learning about an organization that you're just excited about, right? So how does this thing operate? What do they do? This organization meets annually in Davos, Switzerland. It convenes regional summits, industry summits, and other events around the world. Their revenue streams is funded through world's most significant business entities who join the forum as members and partners in order to participate. Approximately 1,000 corporations hold memberships in World Economic Forum, including Google, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and many others, which we'll take a look at. Membership and partnership fees varies from $60,000 annually to $595,000 annually, according to Bloomberg. And in 2022, there were approximately 2,000 delegates, including Al Gore, John Kerry, Christine Lagarde, Jens Stoltenberg, Ursula von der Leyen, Henry Kissinger, George Soros, and many other high-profile names. You may be curious about the financial statement, what kind of money they're making, what kind of money they're paying out. This is what it looks like. In the last 6 years, in 2017, they had total expenses of $278 million, of which they paid $108 million to staff and $170 million to office and activity, and that led all the way down to today, 2022, $383 million in expenses, $130 million to staff, $252 million to office and activity. 383, it's a good number, what they're spending every year, and they're able to get a lot of money from a lot of big names. I'll read you some of the companies right now, but you may ask, why are companies partnering with World Economic Forum? Here's what McKinsey said on what the benefits are to join World Economic Forum. WEF partners with many international organizations and corporations to run projects addressing global concerns. This year, collaborations are focused on pursuing a net zero pathway, nurturing resilience, reimagining globalization, and supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is DEI, in every part of society.
We got DEI. Is it DEI? Die? DE? What? Anyway, somebody called Kamala. She likes to say that a lot. She says it real fast, too. She's really good at it.
You see some touches of ESG in there, CEI, Corporate Equity Index score, all that stuff. That's kind of what you're hearing from one of the biggest consulting firms in the world, McKinsey. Now, if you're wondering what other companies are part of, let's read through some of the lists here that you may know. Accenture, AIG, Alibaba, Allianz, Amazon, Bain & Company, Bank of America, Barclays, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, BlackRock, Boston Consulting Group, BP, Bridgewater Associates, Chevron, Cisco, Citi, the Coca-Cola Company, Dell Technologies, Deloitte, Deutsche Bank, DHL Group, EY, which is Ernst & Young, Goldman Sachs, Google, Hewlett-Packard, HP, HSBC, Huawei, IBM, Intel, Johnson & Johnson, JP Morgan & Chase, KPMG, Lazard, MasterCard, McKinsey & Company, Meta, Microsoft, Mitsubishi, Morgan Stanley, Nestle, Open Society Foundation, George Soros, Palantir, PayPal, PepsiCo, Pfizer, PwC, Procter & Gamble, Qualcomm, Royal Philips, Salesforce, Sequoia Capital, Siemens, Sony, S&P Global, Swiss Re, Uber Technologies, UBS, Verizon, Visa, Volkswagen, Volvo, Zurich Insurance Group. See how many different industries, massive companies, multi-billion dollar behemoth companies are members and they're coming together? What's the whole purpose of this? It's a globalism to control what the smaller people don't get to do. They make the decision that's best for you. Kind of gets you thinking a little bit, right? Makes you want to be a little bit skeptical. But let's go a little bit deeper. What are some of the initiatives? The first one, which is kind of interesting. Remember earlier I said Nostradamus? Check this out. The Great Reset.
The greatest transfer of wealth in history. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the Great Reset. My fault.
You want to know what book Klaus Schwab wrote and when? The book's title is COVID-19, The Great Reset, written by Klaus Schwab. Ready for the release date? July 2020. Do you know when COVID shut down America and it was a mess, NHL, NBA, all that stuff? Mid-March. You either wrote the book, published the book, drafted the book, printed the book in 3-4 months, or you kind of timed it very well. How did you know?
It's magic, Patrick. It's magic. Only Dr. Evil could possibly. He created Mini-Me. You don't think that he can put out a book in 2.5 months? Fully done? On a virus that nobody knew anything about except the people that practiced for it at the whatever it was conference? Oh my God. Anyway.
See what I'm saying? Every country from the United States to China must participate. Not shall, not ought to, must participate. And every industry, from oil and gas to tech, must be transformed. In short, we need a great reset of capitalism. Who are you to know what we need from a man who's never ran a business before? All you do is raise money, getting Europe to compete against U.S. because U.S. was your enemy. Somehow you fooled U.S. to come and join WEF. Now we must do what you want us to do. Since when does the world run this way?
And that is an excellent question. Because how did they manage to get the United States to join? Obviously, they don't like our values. They don't like our Western ways. They don't like that we're the dominant superpower. So I don't understand. What benefit do we have? Or is it just the oligarchs and the technocrats that just benefit from this? As they monopolize and buy up everything, all the land. Anyway, let's continue.
You'll own nothing and be happy. Do you own anything? Are you happy? Do you live in a house you own? Is this your phone? Are you wearing the clothes you own? Do you like owning stuff that's yours, that you worked hard for? Well, according to him, you ain't gonna own none of that stuff, but you're still gonna be very happy. Number 2 is another book that he wrote. He called it The Fourth Industrial Revolution.
This guy's quite the author, man. He likes to write books. Shit. I guess he does concoct them with magic. So
In this book, he describes the convergence of digital, biological, and physical innovations. It encompasses advances such as artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles, predictive healthcare, and digital identities, focused on societal implications of these rapid technological changes.
sounds like a lot of we're going to be surveilling and watching you. We're going to lock you out of your vehicle and turn it off when we feel like it. If you get a ticket or if you ate a red light or something to that effect. Sounds like a lot of that to me. With their, with their AI robots, like the robot dog that now has a sniper rifle mounted onto its back.
To create a rifle-carrying, semi-autonomous robotic dog called Spur.
It's pretty impressive. Or the other AI robot that does flips and jumps.
During the development process, new techniques were developed that allowed Atlas to use its whole body.
With an M16 in its hand. Those robots. Let's continue.
And the 4 revolutions he talks about is the first one is 1784, steam, water, mechanical production equipment, 1870 is the second one, division of labor, electricity, and mass production, 1969, electronics, IT, automated production, and cyber physical systems. And the third one, stakeholder capitalism, which is one of his favorites, by the way. Stakeholder capitalism is a system which corporations are oriented to serve the interests of all their stakeholders. Sounds noble, okay? Among the key stakeholders are customers, suppliers, employees, shareholders, and local communities. Again, sounds noble if it's by choice, not by force. Under this system, a company's purpose is to create long-term value and not to maximize profits and enhance shareholder value at the cost of other stakeholders. This is how companies go out of business. And last but not least, World Economic Forum has been a proponent of this model, emphasizing a move away from the short-term shareholder value to long-term sustainable growth and responsibility. Once again, if he knew how to do this, why didn't you start your own company and do this yourself? Why force others to do something that you've never done before? And number 4 is Young Global Leaders Program, which he launched in 2004. It seeks to identify and nurture the next generation of leaders, recognizes individuals under 40 for their professional accomplishments, commitment to society, and potential to contribute to shaping the future. 1,400 members, alumni of 120 nationalities, includes civic and business innovators, entrepreneurs, technology pioneers, educators, activists, artists, journalists, and many more. This list includes, and I'm going to read some more names for you. Are you ready? Putin's one, Trudeau's another one, Merkel, Macron, Newsom, Yarden, and many others.
So you just heard that, right? They want to identify and nurture. What they really do is acquire and condition them so that then they can install them wherever they want to. As you just saw the list. Educators, activists, journalists, politicians, they got them all. I mean, it's not like George Soros hasn't been doing this forever. Let's continue.
And by the way, they divided by different industries. Let me read you some other names that you may know. Pete Buttigieg, Chelsea Clinton, Nikki Haley, Adam Kinzinger, Jonathan Soros, son of George Soros, Lawrence Summers, Paul Krugman. In the media space, Fareed Zakaria, Anderson Cooper, Sanjay Gupta, Andrew Ross Sorkin, Thomas Friedman, George Stephanopoulos, Lachlan Murdoch, Maria Bartiromo. Now here's for technology and social media. Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer, Bezos, Sergey Brin and Larry Page, Eric Schmidt, Peter Thiel, Mark Zuckerberg, Sheryl Sandberg. From Great Britain, Tony Blair, Niall Ferguson, Charles Allen. Remember how I told you Tulsi, Musk, and Vivek? All 3 were nominated, but they said, not interested. We're okay. You don't need to recognize us. Thank you, but thank you.
Yeah, so thank God for that. At least, they didn't get corrupted or potentially become corrupted. Because that's what I really believe they do. When they acquire these people, when they invite them in and pretty much, I guess, pay them to come in or offer them something, give them grants. I don't know how they do it. That I'm not sure, but that's what they do it for. I mean, you just saw 3 of them. Who was in the beginning? You had Gavin Newsom. You have Justin Trudeau. You had Macron. California and France and Canada are freaking thriving, man. Oh, this is awesome. They should put more young upstarts. What's it called again? The Young Global Leaders Club? Yeah, Young Global Leaders, huh?
So again, you pick and choose. You may be watching the same. I want to get nominated for this. Great, you can go get nominated for this guy. But you may say, I don't really want to get nominated. Well, here's what some people who said good things about him said, and here's what some people said bad things about the World Economic Forum. Let me read both of them to you. Number one, Al Gore, boiling the oceans, creating these atmospheric rivers and the rain bombs and sucking the moisture out of the land and creating the droughts and melting the ice and raising the sea level and causing these waves of climate refugees. Here's what Ron DeSantis said. The elites in the Davos World Economic Forum want to run everything and turn everybody else on the planet into a serf or peasant.
True. Bingo.
Tucker said the World Economic Forum seems to exist to destroy national economies.
With that said, check this out.
On April 29, 2021, a major agriculture policy shift happened in Sri Lanka. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa announced that Sri Lanka will turn into the first organic-only economy in the world. In one fell swoop, Sri Lanka's government banned chemical-based farming in the country. And then, this happened.
श्रीलंका में आर्थिक संकट गहराता जा रहा है। लोगों को जरूरी सामान नहीं मिल रहा, खाने पीने की चीजें इतनी महंगी हो गई हैं।
Musk rips World Economic Forum, unelected world government. And I'll read this one to you for somebody from the Labour Party, Swiss Labour Party, liberal, left, progressive, like an Antifa of Swiss. Here's what Alexander Annelien had to say about this.
And that guy looks super woke. Let's continue.
The main yearly meeting of CEOs of transnational corporations and bourgeoisie politicians from leading capitalist countries who discuss without any democratic legitimacy nor any control from the people questions that concern everyone. The countries of the global south have nothing to say about decisions that will harm them. This kind of forum shows the fundamentally anti-democratic, oligarchic nature of our system. The protection of the environment is also a major discussion in the World Economic Forum. However, every year, 1,000 private jets fly to Davos, which is equal to the pollution emitted by 300,000 cars altogether. Man, they really care about this climate change stuff and protecting it for you and I. So,
Of course they do, Patrick. Don't you understand that their 1,000 jet planes don't do that? It's our cars and gas stoves, for Christ's sake. That's why they gotta ban them. Oh, man, come on. There's a wind turbine or something.
how excited are you right now? Are you still saying, well, Pat, this is a little crazy. Come on, man. You guys are overselling it. No problem. You ever had insects? Have you ever eaten insects? Well, I'm going to read this to you from their website just a year ago, February 2022. 5 reasons why eating insects could reduce climate change. Not.
I'm sorry. Oh, man. Oh, okay.
Not private jets. Not private jets. Even Mario's laughing. Insects could reduce climate change. Number 1, edible insects can produce equivalent amounts of quality protein when compared to animals. How awesome is that? Insects require less care and upkeep than livestock. Number 3, we're actually running out of protein. Number 4, insects are part of virtuous eco-cycle. Why don't you be virtuous and eat more insects? And number 5, you can start small and work your way up. It's just, why would you not want to eat insects? Isn't this noble? Doesn't it get you emotional thinking about how much they care about us? Who cares about you as much as they do? Who else makes you eat insects to live a healthier life? Eco. Who else makes you do that? Noble people at World Economic Forum.
Thank you for hanging out with me tonight, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button if you like what you saw today. You can follow me on social media on X, TikTok, and Instagram are coming soon. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Peace. Damage report! Damage report!